Now, Kamala Harris did something extraordinary for a politician. She gave an interview. I know, shocking, like as a vice president to talk with the press. Can you imagine? People on social media were making fun of the fact that from a different angle you could see a teleprompter. I'm sure that fact checkers will fact check that away. In fact, maybe I'll do so right now. It's unlikely that she was reading from a prompter because she actually spoke like a normal person for once. And now her aides are doing damage control. So either the person that wrote the script on the prompter didn't know how this will land with the cat ladies, or he was trying to sabotage her. And then there's also the event that there was no prompter and she actually spoke from the heart for a second, which, again, shocked the cat ladies. Now you may be wondering, what does cat ladies have to do with this? And you gotta understand, the Democratic Party in the United States, everything that they do, like absolutely everything, all the legislation that they pass, raising the taxes, the war in Ukraine, everything is for the cat lady. Like, I want you to close your eyes, imagine a cat surrounded by 6 cats, and the Democrats are like, do it for her. When they're sending soldiers in the Middle East, it's for the cat lady. When they're cracking down on social media, it's also for the cat lady. This is why they went absolutely fuming when Trump's running mate said something negative about the cat ladies, or when Donald Trump said they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. Like, notice, there were a lot of things said in Trump's campaign. Like, he talked about the economy, he talked about the crime statistics. Like, nothing pissed off the Democrats as much as when he started talking about the cats and dogs. Like, that was the straw. Like, that was the thing where it was like everyone was on red alert, because that's actually damaging their voting base. So what is the cat lady? Well, the cat lady is usually a rich person living alone in a gated community trapped in a fantasy land. Like, they do not understand the problems that average people go through, because they're safe in their little community, right? So, like, they can't even imagine what it's like for someone to invade your house. That never happens there. Like, you know, in Martha's Vineyard, where you're surrounded by the cats, you never actually get to experience real-life situations that other people have to go through. And as such, they don't care. But I can tell you this, as a person who lived in a neighborhood with people from all walks of life, that nothing is more devastating than a home invasion. Now, I lived in one of those communist buildings, the ones that had many apartments, and right next door to me was an old lady that was living alone. And one day, she actually forgot to close her door properly. Like, she came from shopping and she had heavy bags with her. So she went and placed the bags into the kitchen, and then she went to get change in the bedroom. And as she's changing in the bedroom, she hears someone entering her house. Now, that person just went into the kitchen, stole her shopping bags, stole her wallet, and left. That's it. Like, that was the event. But that event was enough to not only traumatize her, but to traumatize everyone else on that apartment block. Because now everyone was like, oh wow, this is happening in our neighborhood. Like, what if it happens to me? Like, I have kids sleeping in the house. Jesus, like, all my savings, all my money is in the house. Because back then, people weren't using online banking and online transactions because we were under the Iron Curtain and the internet wasn't invented yet there. But still, you know, it was such a traumatizing event that, like, some stranger could get into your house. And that is, like, the most mild home invasion that I have ever heard of. Because you also hear about cases where you go out, and when you come back in, the entire house is ravaged. And your furniture is upside down, and people have went through all of your stuff and took all the valuables. And you're thinking, it's like, holy shit. They got it once. What if they get again? What if I'm sleeping in the house when it happens? What if my little child is there sleeping as well when they're coming in? Like, do you even know the intention of the people that are breaking in? Of course not, right? So it's incredibly traumatizing. It is one of the most traumatizing events that a person can experience, to have someone break into their house, right? Now, in the United States, you have the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment, if you actually read the Constitution and the wisdom of the Founding Fathers, was for people to organize a militia so that they can fight back against a tyrannical government. Like, they're very clear on this. It's not ambiguous whatsoever. The purpose of people having guns isn't for hunting or self-defense. Like, this is a Democrat talking point. The founding fathers would have disagreed. Now, the Democrats are saying, well, no, actually, the weapons are for self-defense. All right. If you can't use a weapon when someone breaks into your house, when can you use it? I would really love to speak with Kamala Harris's aides and be like, can you give me a list of things where you would believe, because you're saying you're not against the Second Amendment, right? Like, that's fine. Like, if you are against the Second Amendment, we wouldn't even be having the conversation. You'd be like, okay, so you're against the Second Amendment. Perfect. I understand your point. But for some mysterious reason, they just don't want to say that. Like, they don't have the balls to come out and say, yeah, we are against the Second Amendment. Deal with it. No, they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to please both voters. So they want to please the cat ladies that think guns are scary. And they want to say that, oh, well, we're going to regulate and we're going to make sure that it's only common sense. But they also want to please the people that happen to live in areas where they do need guns. Right? So they want to have it both ways. So what they're saying is like, no, we're not against the Second Amendment, but we just want guns to be used responsibly. So my question is, like, can you give me a list of things that you would consider that it is responsible to use a gun in that situation? I think they would probably say Ashley Babbitt, January 2nd. Like, that would probably be an example. But, like, other than that, I don't know if they can come up with anything. It's so bizarre, right? And the thing that boggles my mind is the lack of empathy. Like, the empathy is for the criminal in this situation, right? Like, the empathy is for the person that's breaking into someone's house, not the person that's actually living in that house and has someone breaking in. Like, how can you think like that? The only way that I can imagine is, like, number one, you want it to happen, like, you want high crime rates. Or number two, like, maybe your friends, acquaintances, and family members either are or know someone that breaks into other people's houses, so you're afraid for their safety. I generally can't imagine any other scenario. Because, like, here in Eastern Europe, when you hear a situation about someone breaking into someone's house, you're immediately putting yourself into the position of the person that's living in the house and has someone breaking in. You're not putting yourself into the position of the burglar, right? Like, normal people don't do that. But I'm pretty sure that there are criminals out there, or people with family members that are criminal, and they're like, oh, wow, like, how tragic it would be if my friend broke into someone's house and accidentally got shot, you know? It's like, again, the idea of putting the criminal first is just, like, so unfucking believable to me. If you break into someone's house, you cause a reasonable fear into the homeowner. Like, put yourself in that position and explain to me in what situation, if someone broke into your house, you would remain calm. And you would think, yeah, I mean, maybe he's a reasonable fellow. Maybe I can rationalize with him. It's like, no, like, if someone has the cojones, if someone has the calculated criminal mind to break into another person's house, like, this is something that I can't even imagine. It's so unthinkable. I can't even comprehend what it would take for a person to do something like that. And you're basically saying that, yeah, even in that situation, the owner has no right to self-defense. So the question is like, okay, well, when does he have the right to self-defense then? Like, is there anything that he should be defending? And by the way, this would actually lead to less shooting rather than more, believe it or not. Most home invasions, because when I went to law school, we actually studied this, right? Most home invasions are usually done by people who surveil the area first, and they kind of think they know when people aren't at home. So usually things go really bad when they're thinking no one is home, but instead they find an old lady there, or they find a child there, or they find a woman there, right? Like, that is when the things go really bad. Because you don't know how the criminals react. And most fatalities in home invasions happen because of that. Like, they want to go in when there's no one there, and they accidentally find someone. And they panic, and they don't know what to do, right? So, like, that is usually the default. Now, if home invaders would think, okay, if we get into someone's home, we can actually get shot. And if they hear cases, it's like, yeah, I heard that it happened to Martin, it happened to Thomas, it happened to this and this guy. Maybe we shouldn't fucking do it. Maybe we shouldn't fucking do it. Maybe we should find another way to make money that doesn't involve terrorizing people. So you actually get the crime statistics to go down. Because believe it or not, criminals also have a sense of self-preservation. But if they think, oh, well, this guy did it and he made this amount of money, and this guy did it and he made so much cash, what do you think will happen? What is the message you're sending? And again, like, this is on prime television, you know, like, they always say YouTubers have a responsibility with the message and blah, 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 and we need trust and safety councils. Meanwhile, Oprah is having this interview, and the aides are like, well, actually, you know, you should calm down. Like, I know that she talked like a normal person for a second, but she doesn't think that way. Anyway, right, let me know what you guys think, and as usual, I will see you in the comment section. Take care.